Oh, that was so well saved. Is that recorded? Oh, that was so well saved.
Well, I'll just do this bit then, shall I? Because you're clearly busy.
Are you ready?
Yeah, sorry mate. We signed up to Patreon. Make sure you go on there, and if you want to, it really helps out if you could go and sign up to that. Make sure you comment and subscribe below, and yeah, here you go.
What's happening, everyone, and welcome to CFC Fan TV. We are here at the wonderful Quartieri to talk about the Premier League. Charlie has been away.
I have been.
You're looking good.
Thanks. I feel like you're lying. I feel like you're lying.
But yeah, so we're here in Quartieri on Kilburn High Road. Make sure that you come down. You've got to check it out. Look at this wonderful feast. So the only place to start is, of course, Stamford Bridge and Chelsea versus Manchester United. Charlie, you weren't at the game.
I was going to get tucked into.
No, that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to ask you about the game, and I'm going to eat the pizza.
Right. Yeah, no, I wasn't. It was a bit of a shame. I was on a weekend away to Budapest with all my pals, and it was a very good time. Nice city. I'm actually going back to Budapest.
Talk about the game. Nobody cares about your holiday.
Watched the game in a pub in Budapest, and I thought it was patchy. I thought first half we played very well, and I feel like we were a bit careless with how we were playing, but I think we deserved the point, and I was delighted to get that equaliser.
2 points dropped or 1 point gained?
2 points dropped. I think I was pretty confident that Chelsea were going to win that game in the week leading up to it. Man United have been very, very poor this year. We've been very good. Particularly after our first half, I think you can say it was 2 points dropped. But obviously, when you're coming out of that game, all you're thinking about is that 96-minute equaliser from Ross Barkley.
And what an equaliser!
Brilliant.
How well did David Luiz do for that header?
Yeah, fantastic. But it's nothing less than Barkley deserves. I've been so impressed with how he's completely almost just reshaped who he is as a player. Mm-hmm. I mean, when he was at Everton, he always had that. He always was talented. But he didn't really have the
cutting edge.
Yeah, or the tactical acumen or the consistency that matches everything up with being a great player. And I think he's finally kind of getting himself to that level. I think he's a huge asset for us. Yeah,
he did really well. It was a tale of a former player, Juan Mata, coming back to haunt us, wasn't it? He had a great game.
I love Juan Mata, and I was gutted when he left. And I think I think sometimes he doesn't get enough credit for being at such a high level throughout his career. I mean, he's a bit of a veteran now, Mata, and he's still so wonderfully talented. And I don't actually think that I've seen many players wear our shirt to be as talented as him. No. Some of the things he can do with the balls, unbelievable.
Yeah, he was great. Going to pick holes in it a bit now.
Go on.
The back line wasn't as good. It was shaky, wasn't it? It was shaky. I thought Marcos Alonso had a terrible game.
Yeah. I mean,
he's certainly involved in both of their goals.
Yeah. It's
Cesar Azpilicueta wasn't good.
You know what, Raw? I don't think Azpilicueta's had the best season overall. He has missed the consistency. I appreciate a lot what he's done for the team over the past few years, but I do half feel watching him sometimes this season we might be able to do better in that area, which is an astonishing thing to say because Azpilicueta's been one of Chelsea's best players for the last 5 years, like no two ways. But yeah, we were far too shaky at the back, and it's actually really uncharacteristic this season. It was a bit of a shame to see.
Do you know what I'm taking away from that game? One of my biggest points from that game that's really going to upset me, actually. I've now written Alvaro Morata off. I've completely written it off. I just don't think he's good enough. I don't think he can lead the line for this Chelsea team. I think players like Eden Hazard, Jorginho, Kovacic, they deserve to play with a number 9 who can really lead the line and drag Chelsea to victory. Score goals in big games like that and secure us 3 points. With Morata up front, it's literally not going to happen. Like Ross Barkley's going to score more goals this season than Morata and Giroud combined.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't one of those where he was trying it all and he was involved, but it wasn't quite coming off.
The game passed him by.
He was dreadful, wasn't
he? He had one chance and he fluffed it.
It was like playing with 10 men. It really was. And I can't, unfortunately, I kind of agree with you now. I think.
Is there any way back for him?
Not for me, to be honest. I think can be written off as a pretty expensive failure, or very expensive failure. And that's unfortunate, but it's happened to us before. Shevchenko, Torres, etc. And it probably will again. I mean, I think he's mentioned Fernando Torres, and I'm not one of these kind of revisionist people who say, actually, he was all right, he was rubbish. But we did have some great moments as well. We got the Europa League final, we got the goal in Barcelona. But with Morata, we're not getting those moments at all. And I agree. I think the situation has to change very rapidly. I think I don't want to say it will cost us the league, because that implies that we would win it with a striker. But for me, I don't think we'll win the league, and I think that's going to be a huge reason why we're not in that conversation come May.
Do you know what I think is important here? To Mourinho's horror, we've been discussing the football. We've been talking about the events on the pitch, which is exactly not what he'd want us to do. Quickly, your take on Mourinho Gate. Mourinho to me, I see a lot of hate towards him. I will never feel like that personally, because I watched Chelsea win their first title for 50 years under his leadership. I find the whole pantomime, he always makes it about himself, doesn't he? It's always a pantomime with him, and I find that so boring. Look, I think these things happen in the heat of the moment. They can be quite quickly forgotten afterwards, but it was pretty funny watching it on television. Yes. So it's been an incredible achievement so far this season. We are unbeaten in our first 9 games. That is incredible, considering we're under a new manager, new players to ingratiate into the team, and the future is really bright. The one blip on the horizon is Manchester City. They looked incredible.
Yeah, they look decent again, don't they?
Worryingly so, actually.
Yeah, some of those goals were fantastic.
Fernandinho's. What's he doing? He's not even meant to be scoring goals for them.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only hope we do the same to Burnley next week. I can't quite see it myself, but they are. I mean, they won the league last season in such a fashion that they have to be in the conversation for, the most stylish, greatest teams that we've seen in the Premier League. And
most amount of points ever.
And they were maybe not as amazing as they have been in the first couple of games, but now they're really kicking in stride. And for me, I think it's pretty obvious that they're going to be the ones to beat.
Yes.
Can
we do it?
For the reasons I said earlier, the thing with the striker, frankly, some of the quality all over the pitch. I just feel like we're maybe one rung below Man City in the quality and the depth that they can offer. But then, look, we're, like you say, we're unbeaten. That has to be the aim.
But do you know what could stand us in good stead? Every time they play a Champions League game, we should have a far easier fixture.
Yeah.
And therefore, when we come back to playing our Premier League games, City will hopefully drop points in those games, and we hopefully won't.
Yeah, and also, I mean, for Manchester City and the club and the owners, that is the holy grail. I mean, it's the holy grail for everyone, but they haven't won it. That's the whole point of that project, to make an impact on the Champions League.
That's why they brought Guardiola
exactly,
in.
Yeah, exactly. They win the league with, Mancini as manager, didn't they? So it's to get to that next level, and as we know, that is, near impossible to
guarantee
it. I mean, when we won it, we were awful in the league, and it was kind of we
deserved it.
We deserved
so many more times. I mean,
exactly. I mean, you've only got to look at kind of the starting lineup in Munich to work out that it was a bit of a bank job, wasn't it? I mean, wonderful. But
City, can they be stopped?
It's not looking that likely, is it? If anyone stops them, it'll be in the Champions League. I certainly think they'll win the league again. It's a pretty frightening prospect, isn't it?
And another team that's going to be trying to stop them is Liverpool. They got a good 1-0 win. Salah back amongst the goals.
Yeah, and that's so crucial for them, because Salah's actually been really, really poor this year.
He's been slow, but he's a class act, isn't he? He's obviously going to find his form again.
He's brilliant. Shame we're not good for Chelsea. Yeah. But no, he had a difficult kind of summer and all that, and I think that it'll be the three of us. But the fact that we are within that group of 3, I was not expecting that.
No.
In the summer, I thought it was going to be a real sort of transitional year. I wasn't sure what was going to happen with Hazard. I wasn't sure that Sarri was going to be so good so early on. I wasn't sure the players were going to buy into it, but they have done, and the fact that we are up there with them is fantastic, and it's real testament to Sarri and players like Jorginho, players like Ross Barkley, obviously Eden Hazard, but how they've bought into what the manager wants to do. put the work in on the training ground, and you know, we're seeing the fruits of that labour. Although, you know, obviously disappointing we didn't get the win on Saturday.
So some bad news that came in from the weekend, and that was that Tottenham are now on the same points as us.
God, that's no fun, is it? Didn't want that.
This is a problem, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we know. I mean, our rivalry with Tottenham is huge, and it's really been kind of, I think, intensified a little bit over the last couple of years. You look very worried about dropping that meat.
I know. I was convinced. I was convinced he was going to smash into that beautiful pizza. Yeah, no, I did well there.
You did really well. No, look. Pochettino has done a great job there, hasn't he? He's turned a team that were always also rans.
Do you know what though, Charlie, as well? At the beginning of this season, when they had a few iffy results, I thought this is the year that Tottenham drop. I thought this is the year it's not going to happen for them, and they've really pulled it back with some very, you know, they're not going to be champions, but it's like champions-worthy results. 1-0 away at West Ham, to Derby, they hate each other, and you nick a 1-0. That's how you win the league. But I remember when Watford beat them earlier this season, I was thinking, this is it. You know, I think, you know, all that, like on Twitter, inject it into my veins, this is it.
Oh mate, I was giving it a work the day after that so much.
I know, and they've done really well, haven't they?
Yeah, they have, but you know, they
dropped out of Europe though.
They're going
pretty much.
Yeah, hopefully. They're going to, you know, with some of the players they have. I mean, they've got the best striker in the world. They've got the best out-and-out striker in the world playing for them. So they're always going to be.
They're going to win games.
Yeah, they're always going to be there or thereabouts. I mean, thankfully, I think the same thing will happen, which is that they'll be up there and they'll be there or thereabouts, and then we'll be talking about how wonderful they are, and they'll win nothing.
Will they get top 4?
Yeah. I don't know, maybe not. Between them and Arsenal, I think, for the 4th spot. I think
not Manchester United.
No. I think already. I think they've had too many dodgy results, and that will continue. There will be this whole cloud over the club with Mourinho and Pogba and whatever's happening with that.
And also, if Juventus beat them tomorrow, they're kind of back to square one, aren't they?
Yeah,
they got the good result against Newcastle. They were unlucky at Stamford Bridge in their eyes. Juventus turn up at Old Trafford and beat them 2-0. It's back to square one.
Exactly. I mean, and that's
hopefully they do.
Yeah, and that's the kind of conversation with Man United at the minute. Every time they have a bad result, the whole club's in crisis again. And you know, you can't sustain that. You can't sustain that for a whole season. So Arsenal have impressed me recently. So yeah, I'm hoping Tottenham don't get top 4, but I think we will, and I think it's the main thing. Well, I have to do quite a lot of talking there, because all you've done, mate, is eat.
Nice. It's nice. You should definitely come down to Quatty area on Kilburn High Road. It's beautiful. It really is. And if you come down, let us know, and we may see you here. I mean, in fact, does anyone want to be on this video? Because Sophie can't make it next week. Charlie can't make it next week. If you want to be in this chair eating pizza with me, I know that doesn't sound
Sounds amazing, doesn't it?
No, that's terrible.
What's the second prize, Rob?
If you fancy it, let me know in the comments below, and you could be here next week if you want to be.
Yeah.